funny one, a little light-hearted one. You know, Islam is a religion of peace, and Islam is also a religion of
Comedy.
sexual
Dark,
pleasures,
sexual.
infinite sexual
Oh, it's the
perversion,
best sex cult. What are you talking about? Yes.
not only in this life but also the next. So this is an excerpt from Imam Ghazali's
Go on,
book.
Horace. Don't keep us in suspense.
Imam Ghazali's book, Revival of Religious Learnings, Hiya Ulumuddin. I don't know what it means, Hiya Ulumuddin, but whatever, doesn't matter. I don't care. What I care about is what's written in it. So you ready? You're a woman.
Ready?
I think let me give warning to all feminists and ladies that you might find this extremely offensive because it has to do with Islam. So if you find this offensive, you got to blame Islam. The patron of Islam, the dearly beloved prophet, the most merciful man, the most pious man, who only had 9 wives, and he used to have sexual intercourse with them all in one night. Have a listen to this first. What is the kind of the person we're talking about?
और शुबा कुछ यूँ है कि एक पाकिस्तानी मुल्क की तरफ से शुबा है, वो मुझे कहता है कि बुखारी शरीफ की हदीस है कि हज़रत सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम एक रात में अपनी तमाम बीवियों से जमा फरमाते थे और इस वक्त उनकी 9 बीवियाँ थीं। नकल कुफर कुफर नबाशत, ये तो जिनसी हवस है। आप क्या फरमाते हैं?
बहुत ही गुस्ताख बेअदब आदमी है। पहली बात तो ये कि उसको बुखारी शरीफ की ये हदीस तो नज़र आ गई, वो हदीस क्यों नज़र नहीं आई कि जिसमें अनस रज़ी अल्लाह तआला अन्हु फरमाते हैं कि रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम को 30 मर्दों की ताकत अता की गई थी। अकेले 30 मर्दों की ताकत अकेले रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम को अता की गई। और मुआज़ इब्न जबल रज़ी अल्लाह तआला की रिवायत है कि 40 मर्दों की ताकत अकेले रसूलुल्लाह को अता की गई थी। और एक मर्द के लिए, दुनिया के एक मर्द के लिए आप 4 बीवियों को जायज़ कहते हैं, जायज़ रखते हैं। तो नबी करीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के अंदर 30 मर्दों की ताकत बुखारी की हदीस बता रही है। तो आप 30 को 4 से ज़रब दे, कितने बन गए? 120। 120 औरतें की ताकत रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के अंदर मौजूद है और वो 9 पर इक्तिफा कर रहे हैं। तो ये आपकी तो इंतहाई इफ़्फ़त और पाकदामनी है। और मुआज़ इब्न जबल की रिवायत फरमा रहे हैं कि 40 मर्दों की 40 को 4 से ज़रब दें 160। तो गोया कि 160 औरतों के लिए आप में मर्दों की ताकत है। तो आप तो 9 के ऊपर इक्तिफा अगर कर रहे हैं तो आपकी इंतहाई पाकदामनी है। ठीक है, तो बुखारी की वो हदीस नज़र क्यों नहीं आई उस मौलिद को? हज़रत दाऊद अलैहिस्सलाम की 200 बीवियाँ थी, वो बस औकात एक रात में सभी के पास जाते थे। तो वो तो आपने कभी नकल नहीं किया, एक बात। और दूसरी बात यह है कि अगर ये जिनसी हिवस है तो हज़रत सुलेमान अलैहिस्सलाम की तो 700 हरम थी, 700 बीवियाँ थी और बस औकात एक एक रात में सबके पास जाते थे। आप उसका क्या जवाब देंगे?
So he basically, that's the character of Muhammad that we're talking about. He was a man of high character. He could satisfy 120 to 160 women, but he only restrained himself to 9 women. So that shows his great character. So
That
he
was so
given,
funny. I cracked up.
So he was given this special
He could have banged 700. He chose 9. Guys,
Yeah.
applaud the man.
It actually gets worse. He brings on another hadith later on, and he says the 40 men is not worldly men. In later on, he says 40 men are heavenly men, and one human.
Oh yeah, then he starts doing all this multiplication, and he
That goes
keeps
in
telling us
thousands.
how much power
It
the
goes in-
prophet would have. Section.
It goes in thousands. It's 1,000. He could satisfy like thousands of women in one day. Imagine this guy's had a constant bonus. So these were the special privileges given to him by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But how did he keep his lusty men in check? In the people who were around him, how did he keep them in check? This is straight from Imam Ghazali's book. So this is straight from Imam Ghazali's book. So he builds a character. He's like, how sexually powerful. Funny thing is, in the video, he had the strength. And then he says, well, then you wonder, oh, his strength was only on women? Because when he went to Battle of Ohud, he was roughed up. he got his jaw broken. He was hiding underneath the corpses, and it's so hilarious. And then he also says he had a strength of 16,000 men or 30 men, but he only used to eat tiny bit of bread. So this shows his great character. Anyway, so let's just get to the crux of it. This is how he was keeping his men in check. You know, he can't give them 9 women like he could have himself because he has special privileges. Muslims were put a limit to 4 wives. But how do you keep them sexy, entertaining? He goes, a man asked the Prophet, "Oh, Prophet of God, will the inmates of paradise have sexual intercourse?" No shit. Look at this. Like, imagine going to your leader. Imagine going to your king. Having a chill time. We can't have a glass of wine, so you can just chill. Prophet, would you tell us, in heaven, will we get to have sex? You know, like, would I be allowed to eat the box? They're just getting all these information. This is a pastime conversation. So Prophet said, anybody among them will be given sexual strength of 7 persons among you. Again, here, because men have premature ejaculation problem, 2-minute noodles kind of thing, like, well, how do you keep them entertained?
Wait, Charis.
You got to give them something. You got to give them some hope. You give them some hope. But here, the hope is being given in the name of eternal boner. So the Prophet
no
said,
erectile dysfunction in heaven.
No erectile dysfunction. You don't have to go there, pop those pills. The Prophet
no Viagra
said,
needed.
an inmate of paradise will have 500 hooves. So 500 virgins, 4,000 unmarried women, like normal unmarried women like yourself, 5,000, because you're slightly lower in number, so that's why you're far more numerous than the virgins of heaven. So 500 virgins, 5,000 unmarried women, and then obviously the lowest on the pecking order are the widows because they're the used goods. So you'll get 8,000 widowed women. So 500 virgins of heaven, 4,000 unmarried women, and 8,000 widowed women. Look at this. There's discrimination there as well.
I know, but don't count, don't count me. I'm not going to be in heaven, so that's
I'm just saying women like you. But
in general,
most
8,000. Of us are going to be in hell. What, you're not agreeing with the Prophet? Muhammad said most of us are going to be in hell.
Yes.
So
but
these
somehow they'll find
women. If you're listening, it doesn't apply to you. You're probably going to be in hell according to your Prophet because you're deficient in religion and intelligence and piety, and you're dirty and you negate prayers. So we're going to be in hell.
But Muhammad's mathematics is so bad, like when he was doing
so Allah's, mate, when the inheritance thing, but go on.
This is a Bukhari hadith, and now you just pointed it out. It's just so bad, poorly written, that every sentence utters bullshit. So this is a Bukhari hadith. It said, the Prophet said, I looked at paradise and found poor people forming the majority of its inhabitants, and I looked at hell and saw the majority of its inhabitants were women. So
and women, why? Because you wore perfume, because you're disobedient to your husband, or because you refused him sex, or because that's it. That's why you're in hell. Yeah.
No, but listen to this part. But if one man is going to get 4,000 unmarried women and 8,000 widowed women, this is like 12,000 times more. Where are these women coming from?
Oh yeah, true.
Women are going to be freaking thousands of times more. Every man who makes it, every Ali Dawa, Muhammad Hijab, he's going to get 8,000 widowed women. He's going to get 4,000 unmarried women and 500
That's so funny, because today I saw a meme. It was like Islamic heaven, and the guy guarding it was like, "Stop! We've run out of virgins." And the suicide bomb was like, "Oh, mate, on my turn, really."
But if Muslims say, "Oh no, God will create women," but again, there would still be women. So when Prophet was peeking into heaven, into hell, he was having a look. Oh, let's see who's making up the majority of hell. Then those are women. So in heaven, women are also plentiful. They will be in majority, because whether they are newly created women or women from earth, they would still be far more numerous. So in heaven, you'll have more women, according to this narration. But again, they will say, "Oh, daif. Imam Ghazali didn't know what he was talking about." Anyway, An inmate of paradise will have 500 who is 4,000 unmarried women and 8,000 widowed women. Each of them will keep embracing him for the duration of his whole worldly lifetime. By embrace here,
Bloody hell.
it
What?
means sexual
How
intercourse.
clingy is this mujahid?
80 years. So if you lived on average of 70 years on earth, you will be having sex with all of them. 8,000 widowed women, 4,000. This is one freaking hell of an
Oh
orgy.
my
Even
goodness.
you have not. How are they going to all touch him? Okay, maybe separately or gangbang. I don't get it. Each of them will be embracing them for 70 to 80 years. Oh my
That is a one long ass cuddle.
It's not cuddle. It's not about embrace. It's not the embrace. It's actually by
Ooh,
embrace
it's
here.
a fountain. It's a fountain pen in the ink pot, is what we're told.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Okay. He also said there will be markets in paradise in which there will be no buying or
Haris,
selling.
this is the hadith I was telling you about that day in our stream. Do you remember? And I was like, they say there's going to be a market with pictures and you can just step into it and it's girls or boys. And you were like, no. And I was like, yes, there is a
No, I didn't
hadith.
say no. I knew
Yeah,
this
you
hadith.
did. You were like, oh,
I-
no. And I was like, let me find it. I have to show you. This is it. I mean,
There you
'cause
go. Okay.
this is
there you go.
it.
Okay, there you go. So there will be markets in paradise in which there will be no buying or selling. But what's the purpose of those? What's the purpose of those markets? But there will be men and women.
Yeah,
If-
men, and this is what I was trying to tell you that day. Do you remember? There'll be men as well. So if
Get it
you're a
in.
man, you in heaven, and you fancy that bloke in the picture, oh, he's kind of fit, like Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't know, is he fit? Step inside, you can get him.
And this is where the Quranic verse comes in and explains that there will be pretty boys in heaven who will
Well,
be
I
serving
thought
you.
that was for us, for women. It was like
No, it's not for
for
you.
you guys
it's for men.
too.
It's for us. Well, not us. For Ali Dawaz and Muhammad Hijab. That's for Muhammad Hijab. Can't let it go. It's such a sexy offer. He
But I
can't.
told
He
you
can't let
this
it.
is literally. Didn't I say that day? This was like
Yeah, you
3D
did.
printing
Okay, you're
come
right.
to
Let's
life.
get on.
No,
Okay,
but
let's
isn't
get
this
on with it.
3D print? Like Islam invented 3D printing. You're not focusing on that. This is
Oh, yes.
literally stepping into
Yes.
an image and having
Yes.
it being come to life. This is 3D printing, guys.
The next line is a killer. So in that market will be no buying and selling. Basically saying poverty will not be an issue. Anyone can have anyone, even men or women. It says, if any man will wish to have sexual intercourse with a woman, he will do at once. So here's the market. You're walking through with your mates, having a look around. You're like, oh, that blonde girl. Oh, that
It's
brunette.
like a VR market, by the way. These are like projections.
He's walking. Let me see. I'm just walking through the market and say,
What?
I see this girl. I like that. And look, I put a finger on her. I don't have to give my credit card or any cash. No transactions.
Maybe it's like the
involved.
McDonald's machine, like when you order from the machine. Like
No, but McDonald's machine, you only
one
see the
blondie
image.
with blue eyes. That one.
But here, you're just walking through this, standing in a line like this. Come and rape us. And it says, if any man will wish to have sexual intercourse with a woman, he will do it once. I'd be like, I'm walking. Yeah, that blondie, take your clothes off. Bang. Then and there.
Well,
Don't
you'll
have to
just
do
step
anything.
in. You'll literally step into
Boom.
that realm. That's
Get
insane.
in there. Get in there. What?
It's like a VR sex market. And from
Mate,
the future.
I don't know why you're watering it down with VR and 3D printing. This is real in flesh. This is in
Yeah, but it
flesh.
says no. But there's images. There'll be a market
No
with
images. This is not images. This is not images. This is
Show me
real
the
in
hadith. What does
flesh.
the hadith say?
It said each of them will keep embracing him for blah blah blah. He also said there will be markets in paradise in which there will be no buying or selling, but there will be men and women. No images. This is it. If any man will wish to have sexual intercourse with a woman, he will do it at once.
The hadith
and
that
while
I said
they-
has the word images inserted. That's
Okay, that's
where I
different
got it
then.
from.
Okay, that's
No,
different.
but it's
The
the
who-
exact same concept. It's just in the
Okay.
hadith.
Yeah, I don't know. Muhammad was making shit up as he went along, so maybe he said this somewhere. It doesn't matter. This is in flesh. I want to say it as it is. It's in flesh. The Who's will be singing in paradise in divine purity and praise. We are most beautiful Who's, and we are here for our honored husband. So they'll be singing. They're getting. This is the nature of this sex cult. How can anyone respect this religion. And you know what? This is what pisses off a lot of Muslims. Probably not the Ali Dawahs and Hakikachus followers, because they're long gone. But a lot of those lipstick Muslims, that woman that we showed earlier who was interviewing that kid, show her this. You would be literally standing in a line there. If you're a widow or an unmarried woman, you'll be standing there in a line, because married women will get their own husband. But I don't get it. If you're a widow, shouldn't you be getting your husband in heaven? Because this is what other narrations say.
I mean, that's what they say to appease women and make them feel better. Because so many
you get your own
Muslim
husband.
women naturally
But what
have
about
one second. They naturally have the inclination to be like, what's the point if my husband's going to be with like 72 virgins in the afterlife? And they're just told, oh, you would be one of them, or you would be the leader of them. Like, as a Muslim woman, that's what I was told. Like, you know what I mean? And also another thing they would tell you is that you will never experience jealousy. Like, you won't experience jealousy like you do in this world. And on top of that, the cherry on the cake was you'll have young, pretty, handsome boys to serve you, which I didn't want. So I was like, how is that a consolation?
That's for men as well.
Well, yeah, okay. So let me just show you. This is the problem I have. So this is the hadith I'm talking about.
Oh, right,
it says
good.
here, but it's considered da'if. That's why I didn't show you that day. But look, it's the exact same concept. Indeed, in paradise, there is a market in which there is no buying nor selling except for images of men and women. So whenever a man desires an image, whether that's a man or a woman, if you want to be a homosexual, you can in heaven. He enters.
You know why? You know why it's da'if?
That's why I'm showing you that. Just to be like, I'm not crazy about the image thing.
No, I never said you were crazy. I'm saying, yeah, so it's probably the same. But, you know, the problem here is, you know why it's da'if? It's probably da'if because they inserted the word images. It's supposed to be in flesh. No images, it's in flesh. But it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. Like Alice in Wonderland.
But that's we were discussing, like boys on boys. That is a concept in Islamic heaven, because you're given the option of both. And that day we were discussing it, and it was like, no, you guys just have hurin. No, you have the option of boys too. For ladies, that's nothing like that. I don't know what all the lesbian mamas are gonna do out there. Sorry, you would not.
And I don't get it why Muslims get so triggered and they want to prove these narrations wrong, because in practicality, everything that is forbidden in this life is actually allowed in the next. So why homosexuality would not be allowed? Wine is allowed, sex is allowed. You don't have to marry them. Everything.
But that's it. That's pretty much it. Wine is allowed and sex is allowed. What else? How depraved is this heaven?
No, but why they would not?
Everyone in this life is getting sex and wine anyway if they want it.
So why they would not? So why would they not? Why Allah wouldn't? If He's allowed sex, why would He not allow, gay sex as well? Because
He's allowing it in heaven. If you like that image, Haris, just step to it.
I know that, but I'm just saying that I'm saying Muslims go above and beyond to try to discredit homosexuality in heaven. The reason, as I said, is because of disgust. Nobody's disgusted by sex itself. That's why it's allowed. Nobody's disgusted by wine. Actually, they are disgusted by eating pork. So I don't know if eating pork would be allowed. They're also disgusted by
alcohol. Some of them, they're like, "Oh, we can't go here. It serves alcohol."
But not to the extent. So because that's why there will be rivers of wine flowing in heaven. So Muhammad,
and honey and stuff. Like, you've not tasted honey before? Surely you've tasted honey.
Most of the people around Muhammad were simple, straight men who wanted to get drunk and wanted to have good time. So that's the lollipop he dangled.
But when they got drunk, they probably got feisty and started questioning him and his religion and some of his sayings. And he's like, nah, I can't be having this. Can't be dealing with drunk people questioning me. This is, it's good for you, but it's really bad. Actually, Allah says it's just totally forbidden now.
Right.
If you like these videos and want to support me in my activism, then you can support me on Patreon or PayPal. Stay free, everyone.